Francia en ITV.
Welcome back. Now, we've had an email from Steve and Tricia Firmston in Cornwall, one of quite a few actually, not all from them obviously, but from different viewers. Anyway, they're asking about the radio earpieces that riders are wearing and whether they're for listening to the team manager back in the support car. Well, they are, and as you can see from the daily shots we get of riders having secret conversations with their armpits, they're also two-way these days as well. However, it's a strange mixture of tradition and innovation, the Tour de France, and not everyone's happy with the way that radios are affecting the race, as we're about to show you. In the beginning was the word, and the basic gist of the word seemed to be ride like hell, son, because nobody knows what's happening in the race. Then came the information age, blackboards for the bright boys at the front, trips back to the team car for a word with the boss if there were any tactical changes. And that's the way it stayed until fairly late in the 20th century, when with mobile phones and the internet revolutionising global communication, cycling checked its rearview mirror, signalled, and moved out tentatively into the slow lane of the information superhighway.
Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
It's really changed in my eyes the whole sport.
Call me on the radio if you need me.
Before, someone had to drop back to the team car and sort of ask direction or what exactly was happening up at the front.
And now, like, if they got 30 seconds, you go on a radio, said, hey, who's up there? Can we let it go or not?
We have to help and bring that brake back, eh? Only Christian and there's 16 guys in the front. It's not enough.
You know, there's almost 200 riders in this race, and it's hard to keep track of everybody. And you know, sometimes a dangerous rider slips up the road and goes into a 10-man breakaway. If it wasn't for the radio, you might not know.
So it makes like life easier sometimes, but if you're the one who wants to escape, there's no sneaking away anymore because they know exactly which number is where.
Everyone agrees that radios have changed the nature of the race. Beyond that basic fact, though, consensus starts to break down like a dodgy shortwave signal.
It seems like a little bit now that it's the director that just plays like a video game in the car and kind of tells his players what to do.
Guys, let's not stay in the back. Let's not stay in the back here, eh?
What has happened is you become dependent on these radios, and all of a sudden you can't think for yourself. You know, you're out there and it's like brain dead.
A lot of people say you lose the initiative, that the riders are losing the wherewithal to race off their own backs. But when it comes down to it, you've either got it or you haven't. You come down into a break and a finale in the last 50 k's of a race, there's only 6 riders left. You haven't even got communication anymore with the radio half the time. And even if you do, it comes down to the rider.
But I personally don't like to wear one.
Why not?
I don't like someone else talking in my ear all day.
In fact, some riders reckon radios are a dangerous distraction that can cause crashes. Others just concentrate on getting value for money out of their licence fee. In 2000, Lance Armstrong controversially staged the Tour's first radio phone-in.
Hello.
When Marco Pantani broke away on stage 15, Lance got onto the team car and they called up his medical advisor in Italy for a second opinion on how he should respond. The following year, he'd graduated to hoaxes, grimacing for the cameras in the knowledge that Team Telecom would see it and get straight on the radio to pass the duff information on to his rival Jan Ullrich. Useful stuff then, technology, although by definition, of course, prone to technological problems.
Do they work all the time?
Oh, Jesus.
What's a frequency cannon?
These radios suck.
What's a frequency cannon?
Try it.
What's a frequency cannon?
I do not understand you.
There's often like a radio block and it's making that really loud, annoying noise.
You can get a lot of situations now where riders just unplug their radio or pull it out or say it doesn't work, then switch it off.
So you go, who is it? Who is it? Stop that, stop playing with the radio. And nobody hears you because like the microphone is blocked. Oh, that's annoying.
It's frustrating if you can't hear what they're saying and you think, I'm carrying this thing around for nothing and I'm listening to static.
Currently unavailable. To order a tactical change, press 1. To chase down an existing breakaway, press 2. Press 0 at any time to return to the main menu.
So back on the road, the two leaders, Fabio Sacchi and Jacob Pil, thanks to their radios, will know exactly what's going on behind them, which is that Bram de Groot is trying to get across to them from the remains of the breakaway. He's over a minute behind though, so with about 6 kilometres to go, it looks like it's going to be between the Italian and the Dane.
The thing about these two, Paul, is they're both equally balanced in every way. Now, it looks to me as though Sacchi there is just doing the ratchets up on his shoes, just tightening them up, because they slacken them off, you know, during a day of this heat, because the feet begin to swell and get quite painful at times because of the hot weather, and this has been the hottest day of the Tour de France. Bram de Groot in third place, big rider from the Netherlands. They could do with a nice result for Rabobank, but they might well have to be content with third now.
Well, Bram de Groot is a long way back and he's actually losing time on the two leaders. He's 1 minute and 8 seconds behind. The remnants of the group with him are a further 20 seconds in arrears, but they seem to have lost all of their impetus in the organisation to try and chase down the two men who launched a perfect attack at around about 17 kilometres to go to the finish. This is the chasing group of 5 right now. They too are moving away from the coast. They're heading into the very heart of Marseille, and in fact not also is it the finish outside the stadium of the football club Olympique Marseille. It's also the home of the very great velodrome here in Marseille, which is known as the Velodrome des Olives. It was built back in 1929.
The main field no longer being timed, but we know they're probably around 20 minutes down. That's a long way back. These are the two leaders now coming in towards the finishing line. It's a long, long straight finish. The field now being shown at 23 minutes. Well, Paul, I agree with you. I have no idea who can win this because they're both very equal at this sort of a finish.
Well, I think the best thing to do right now is we'll pick a rider each and one of us will get the win. I'll tell you what, I'll go first. I'll go for Sacchi.
That's not fair, because I was going to go for Sacchi, probably because I know him. I've enjoyed watching him race in Australia, but Jacob Pil equally. This would be a great result for either one of these riders, and they both deserve it, of course. 203 kilometres in front today, 3 kilometres left to ride. So it's 200 kilometres in front right now. Ooh, and a bit of a sharp bend, and Sacchi took it wide because he wanted Pil to come round. There might be a slackening in the pace now. Jacob Pil may not want to take up the running. He'll want to come off the back wheel of Sacchi. Sacchi knows that, because I think Sacchi is the faster of the two when it comes to the sprint, but I'm not sure that he will want to lead Pil to the line.
The difficult thing about a breakaway like this is you have to put all of that information to one side, because certain riders can be very fast on occasions, but when you've ridden 125 miles together, the body has reacted in different ways. And we also compound that with the heat that we've had on today's stage, temperatures soaring up to almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the nerves as well of being on a stage of the Tour de France, because this is so important for a bike rider. These riders will maybe never ever get the chance like this again in a race like the Tour de France, because you very rarely get a gift horse like this when you get into a breakaway which is regarded of no consequence to the overall classification, and you have the chance of building a huge margin over the main field, and then with 2 kilometres to go you've got to think, I can win this, and nerves start to set in.
I can imagine that the adrenaline must be pumping now. Let me just tell you why it is of no worry to Lance Armstrong, because Fabio Sacchi is 50 minutes behind, lost time already. Jacob Pil is 1 hour and 34 minutes behind. Now, looking at the home straight, in the distance is the kilometre, a bit further on is the finish. This would have been a wonderful finish for the likes of Baden, Cook and Robin McEwen, but they are 20 odd minutes back in the main pack. It is just 2 men on this wide open boulevard. That was a nice gesture.
Brilliant. That is just goes to show the solidarity of these professional
Do you know what,
bike
Paul?
riders.
The fact they've done that, they might go side by side and have a pure sprint.
Well, you don't see that very often.
Just look at this again.
That is quite remarkable. That's what men did in the old days of cycling. They would work together until the finish, and then they will drag strip and not try and outmaneuver each other, and it's going to be a great finish. And one man, unfortunately, after a 125-mile breakaway, has to lose.
Well, I've never seen that before, apart from the infamous one a couple of years ago when Lance Armstrong shook hands with Jan Ullrich at the top of Ardiden. The mountains were behind them, and Ullrich was acknowledging Armstrong was going to go to Paris as the winner. But that was a really nice gesture from Sacchi to Jacob Pil. Now they're approaching the last 1,000 metres. Just look at the crowd here. All of France is watching the Tour de France this year, I think. And now I was just wondering if they were just going to go side by side and race it out, but it looks as though Saki is now waiting. And it looks as though Jakob Pill is having a quick word with his team manager there to know what to do. He's got a little race radio transmitter under his racing jersey.
What to do, that is so difficult in a situation like this. They've got plenty of time to play with. They don't actually have to worry about a return of the chasers. The last time check we got back to Bram de Groot was 1 minute and 7 seconds, and almost 2 minutes back to the remnants of the breakaway, which is still 5 riders, and 23 minutes back to the main field. On the front, it's Jakob Piel. This is a nervous moment. He's right up against the barriers right now. He's making sure that the wind doesn't have any effect on the sprint towards the line. He's looking, he's waiting for the shadow, he's waiting for the sound of the whistle coming from the acceleration of the tyres of Fabio Sacchi in second position.
He's got to go sooner or later, and it's just like you're in a velodrome here, high on the banking, because the rider on the front is just turning his neck to wait for the move and hope he can beat him by a fraction of a second. But here it comes, and I don't think he's got a chance. He's gambling on a quick release as he comes up to his back wheel, a quick deep breath, and then can he take him? Fabio Sacchi is racing to what would certainly be the biggest result of his life, but watch out, Jakob Piel is finding the legs to the line, and that is a tremendous result for Jakob Piel. He did turn on the style, he led to the line, he forced Sacchi to make the move, and Jakob Piel has got the win for Denmark and for the Tour de France winner of 1996, Bjarne Riis, because he manages the team.
Jakob, congratulations, mate. That was fantastically close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
You've caught your breath now. What about that gesture 1.5 kilometers from the end where he offered you his hand?
Yeah, but that's because we sprint for it and we worked hard for it. Made the best man win.
You've done well to hold your own there. You saw him, he was on your tail for so long. That was close.
Yeah, but I felt I had the best leg in the end, so I was pretty confident.
Third place is going to go to Bram de Groot.
Bram de Groot of Holland, Rabobank team, of course, ripped apart from the very first road race stage with the loss of the American Levi Leipheimer and Mark Lott with serious injuries in the race and that mass pile-up out at Meaux. Gaumont will go next. Watch Philippe Gaumont on the left here. He's really on the rivet, but he's having a go for anything he can get. A fourth place finish in the Tour would be great for him. But here comes Damien Nazon. He'll be kicking himself now, the fastest finisher of the group, a pure sprinter, this man, and he had a great chance at winning the stage. He's throwing it away. Hasselbacker's going to try and run him to the line, but no. Nazon, Hasselbacker, Philippe Gaumont as they come over the line.
So there's the result. Jakob Piel winning on guile, more than pure speed, from Fabio Sacchi, with Bram de Groot 9 seconds behind them, and Damien Nazon comfortably winning the sprint for fourth from the survivors of the original breakaway group. But before Piel could take the podium, he had a 20-minute wait for the rest of the field.
And you can see now the boys in white are trying to lead out. Baden Cook also trying to get involved is Freddy Rodriguez as well, his team. The green jersey though of Baden Cook is having to launch this one now. David Miller looks as though he's going to give a perfect lead out here to Bradley McGee as they head up towards the line now. It is David Miller of Britain doing the lead out, followed by Bradley McGee and followed by the green jersey of Baden Cook. Now Robin McEwen is going to have to profit from this. There is McEwen still dodging amongst the wheels, wanting to keep riders away from him. Eric Zabel is also there, and McGee looked to see who punched him. Then it was Eric Zabel who pushed him out the way. Zabel is still on the wheel of Freddy Rodriguez. This is going to be, in fact, I think that is Roman Weinstein who's got back there. But as they lead towards the line, 300 metres to go now. This is the final lead out for Baden Cook, and Zabel has got Baden Cook's wheel. And then comes McEwen is on the left. Cook is making determined finish, but look at Robbie McEwen as he puts it to the line. McEwen and Cook, and I don't know how they are going to split them.
Well, when they were split, the decision went to Baden Cook, who picked up the 16 points on offer for 10th place. Robbie McEwen got 15 for 11th, and he now trails Cook by 9 points in the race for the green jersey. All the big names, Armstrong included, finished in the bunch, along with the Tour's new freelance lead-out man, David Miller. Afterwards, we asked him what on earth he was playing at.
Well, Macca and Cookie are two of my best friends, so I thought, you know, why not?
Well, you'd vote for someone else for the final few hundred metres.
I was holding 70 k's an hour on that straight. Probably one of the fastest lead-outs ever had. So. With me and Macca, they don't come any faster. Me and Macca leading out guys, so yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, with a bit of luck, some of David's excess energy will find its outlet in a stage win before the end of the Tour. Today, though, was Jakob Pil's day, although right up until the last 100 metres, just about everybody at the finish had their money on Fabio Sacchi. Afterwards, he spoke to Matt Wren.
Fabio, a 1500 metri dalla linea avete toccato mani, perché?
Ma è un gesto che io ho voluto fare di ringraziamento anche a Phil, che siamo andati d'accordo fino all'arrivo, e per dimostrare a tutto il mondo che il ciclismo è un vero sport di amicizia e non solo di quello che parlano male, e con questo penso di aver rimasto tanto.
E non sei troppo deluso, quindi?
La delusione sono altre cose nella vita. Ciao.
Well, that might have been Sacchi's only chance to win a stage, and just for the record, this man has yet to win one himself. He's leading the race, though, and looking forward to the time trial on Friday to open his account. A classic away day in the Tour then, one that has absolutely no impact on the overall standings. It's still Armstrong from Vinokourov by 21 seconds, then Iban Mayo, Francisco Mancebo, Tyler Hamilton and Jan Ullrich. David Miller remains 19th, while Jakob Pil's day out moves him up 30 spots into a menacing 103rd place, an hour and 12 minutes behind Armstrong. Baden Cook confirmed today that he's made the transition from stage win seeker to serious challenger for the points title, and he was still looking for more points after the race was over.
There's a sprint after 10k's which I believe I won, and apparently they had no line camera because I had a big gear on and Robbie got past me, and then I came back at him and I believe I threw past him, and so I'm hoping that Mark's going to chase up some video footage of that, because it actually makes a 4-point difference if you look at it. So I was sort of stewing on that all day, and lucky I got the points here.
Well, I must say, I think Baden Cook's got a case. He's on the right in this replay in the green, and he does seem to edge out Robbie McEwen. Unlikely, though, that the commissaires will reverse a decision made out on the road. While the green jersey race looks tight, Richard Virenque is 60 points clear in the King of the Mountains competition. Jorg Jaksha is second, Lance Armstrong, interestingly, is third. And afterwards, King Richard came down from his podium to the delight of the common people, and there was much rejoicing and touching of the hem of his polka dot garment. Well, as Lance Armstrong said a couple of tours back, it's a bike race, not a popularity contest, which is just as well, otherwise he'd be going into the rest day trailing Virenque by a couple of hours in the general classification. Now, before we go, another chance for you to enter our weekly competition and win a Trek road bike. Our question this week concerns the jersey worn by the leader of the points competition in the Tour. We want to know what colour it is, and here are your choices: A, yellow, B, white, or C, green. 09001 22 9922 is the number to call. Lines are open until midnight on Saturday. And here's a reminder of the prizes you can win: a superb Trek racing bike for the first correct answer out of the computer-generated hat, and for 5 runners-up, copies of the official Tour de France Centennial book, which tells the story of the race year by year. Now, tomorrow it's a rest day, and rarely can a race have needed one as badly as this Tour does. Beverly Turner will be with you on ITV2 at the usual time, 7 o'clock in the evening, for a full recap of the race so far. And we'll be back with you on Thursday for Stage 11, which finishes in another one of the original 1903 towns, Toulouse. At 153 kilometres, it's the shortest road stage of the entire race, so it shall be a fast one. See you then.
Century of cycling.
Absolutely unbelievable.
100 years of punishment.
Nothing more left in those legs now. This is killing him.
Welcome to the toughest race on the planet.
The crowd are going absolutely potty.
The Tour de France, tomorrow at 7, ITV2. So you think